questions without notice. Are there any questions? The Honourable Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Prime Minister. In 1989, you informed the ACTU Congress that by the end of the decade, unions would have a significant controlling element in $600 billion of superannuation.
Order.
And said, guess who's coming to dinner?
Order.
Guess who's coming to dinner, Laurie? And said, quote, so in more difficult political times...
No. Let's just get the question. The Prime Minister, it's directed to you.
And said, quote, so in more difficult political times, instead of passing motions from the Trades Hall about some matter, there will be institutional muscle in the trade union movement. Do you consider the current battle over Coles Myer an occasion for the exercise of institutional muscle in the trade union movement?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, no, I don't. Do I think, by the way, that there's some, voices from on high coming into the investment management of the AMP Society? Some infinite wisdom? Of course I don't. Otherwise, they wouldn't have taken that massive losses on their bond program in the last 12 months. I mean, here they are. They emptied all the lemmings and the fund managers. Out they went with the bonds at 10.5% yields, and guess what? They're back to 8.5%. If they'd have waited a year, they wouldn't have cost the superannuants anything. So, Mr Speaker, let's not mess around with this notion there's some sort of, wise sort of holy grail sitting inside the AMP or National Mutual or any of these other shows. These are outfits which mostly take their cues weekly, bi-weekly and monthly. There's no long-run investment strategy for them. And didn't we see it in evidence with Pacific Foods and Pacific Dunlop? Now here's Pacific Dunlop trying to put together a sensible diversification package, sensible diversification of their business to develop a food industry in this country, to develop a food business in this country. What happens? They're marked down, their share price is marked down continually by the local superannuation investment fund managers to the point that finally Pacific Dunlop have to sell their Pacific Foods interests. And guess what? They got very high prices for it. In other words, the international investors who bought it endorsed their strategy, and then the superannuation fund managers all said, out on radio and TV interviews and dodgy columns in business magazines, oh, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. Of course it was them. The same as when they hopped into CSR over its coal interests in the 1980s, when they diversified away from sugar. So, Mr Speaker, let not the shadow treasurer hop up talking about how shocking it is that somebody that actually represents the savings of millions of Australians might dare have a view about these, godlike practices which go on inside these people who are hearing voices. Mr Speaker, no, but they're not. I don't think they're intervening. Simple as that. No. But they're entitled. They're entitled to a view. Mr Speaker, so by the way, is anybody who's got tuppence worth of brains in observing these donkeys selling down bonds and flogging Pacific Dunlop shares, Mr Speaker. So, and just Mr Speaker, on the way about guess who's coming to dinner, can I just make a point about that little aside, Mr Speaker? I might ask the Leader of the Opposition, did he have his children on board when he met Kerry Packer for lunch 2 Thursdays ago? In his guess who's coming to lunch? Eh? Or was it just you and Kerry? Was it a nice little meeting? How did Kerry treat you? Well, I hope. One Sydney boy to another. Better he treats me, eh? Yeah? Yeah, good. Good on you, John.